you guys, DeWanna Bonner was coming to the Fever, and 24 hours later, I'm here to tell you, she is now officially Indiana Fever. Now, I know a lot of you guys is wondering, John, what does this mean? Y'all want to know what this means? This means in WNBA championship. You know what I'm saying?
The Indiana Fever have just made a monumental move that could shake up the WNBA championship race. They've signed 6-time All-Star DeWanna Bonner to a 1-year deal, reuniting her with former coach Stephanie White.
I don't know what's going on in the world of basketball as of lately, because the last 24 hours have been flat out a doozy. And I'm talking about in the entire basketball world. DeJounte Carrington got traded to the Dallas Wings. Duka goes to my Los Angeles Lakers. Now, DeWanna Bonner, 6-time All-Star and the X Factors for the Connecticut Sun just last year, who was able to make it to the semifinals with the WNBA playoffs, has signed with the Indiana Fever.
Sophie Cunningham, Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Kelsey Mitchell resigning, Nalissa Smith leaving. The Fever is stacked.
Sorry, y'all, I'm in bed, but DeWanna Bonner is expected to sign with the Indiana Fever. Sources over at ESPN did confirm this. So with DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and Natasha Howard, the Indiana Fever are a solidified chip contender.
This strategic acquisition positions the Fever as serious title contenders. Bonner's defensive prowess and scoring efficiency are expected to complement the team's existing talent, including standout rookie Caitlyn Clark. The Indiana Fever have solidified their roster even further by re-signing Kelsey Mitchell, putting to rest any speculation that she was unhappy with the team. Mitchell, one of the Fever's most consistent scoring threats, has been a key part of the franchise and will now continue alongside Caitlyn Clark for the upcoming season.
And I met one of the greatest people in the world, Caitlyn Clark, who just ran the basketball world. So I think together we hope to make you guys proud. We hope to make you guys feel like you're a part of our success and our journey. And I'm here. Let's do this.
There had been rumors circulating about Mitchell's future with Indiana, but those have been shut down entirely. Not only did she agree to return, but videos have surfaced showing her visibly excited about playing with Clark again this season. This reaffirms the Fever's commitment to building a competitive team around their young star, while also maintaining the core that helped them reach the playoffs last season.
Now you have a big old smile on your face. How much did it mean to re-sign with this organization now for what will be your 8th season?
Oh man, Indiana is my second home, so for me it was like second nature. Obviously the contractual stuff is always being talked about, but I look at Indiana like home, and to come back and play with people like Caitlyn and Aaliyah and our group period is just really, really fun for me, and I don't want to miss out on that.
With the addition of DeWanna Bonner and the retention of Mitchell, head coach Stephanie White has made it clear that the Fever are aiming for a deep playoff run. This combination of veteran leadership, established scorers, and young talent positions Indiana as a legitimate contender in the WNBA. The Indiana Fever have made another major roster change, parting ways with Nalissa Smith, who had reportedly been unhappy with the organization. The team made it clear that they wanted to move forward only with players who were fully committed to their vision, leading to Smith's departure. She has now joined the Dallas Wings, where she will reunite with her girlfriend, DeJounte Carrington.
And just like I was telling y'all, bro, we knew they was going to figure out a way to get each other on the same damn team.
In response, the Fever moved quickly to bring in Sophie Cunningham, a proven star and versatile wing player. Cunningham has previously expressed her interest in playing alongside Caitlyn Clark, and now she gets that opportunity. Her ability to stretch the floor with her shooting and bring toughness on both ends of the court makes her a strong addition to the Fever's revamped roster.
That she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. I would love to play with her one day, for real.
This move reinforces Indiana's strategy of surrounding Clark with experienced, motivated players who fit the team's long-term goals. With Cunningham joining DeWanna Bonner and Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever have built a roster that not only complements Clark's playstyle, but also strengthens their chances of making a serious playoff push. Moving on from Christy Sides and bringing in Stephanie White is looking like a huge blessing day after day for the Fever. White is a clear upgrade, known for her strong leadership, direct approach, and ability to build a winning team. Unlike Sides, who struggled to maximize the team's potential, White has come in with a clear vision of the players she wants and how she plans to elevate the Fever to championship contention.
By Alexa with ESPN, 6-time All-Star and WNBA champion DeWanna Bonner is signing with the Indiana Fever, sources told ESPN. Now, by re-signing Kelsey Mitchell, trading for Sophie Cunningham, and signing experienced vets DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard. Can't forget about her either, bro. The Fever have the capability into the title conversation. Yes, bro.
One of her first statements as head coach made her intentions clear. She called Caitlyn Clark a generational player. That belief has been backed up by her aggressive approach in free agency. The moves she has made so far indicate that White is fully focused on surrounding Clark with the right pieces to win, and she's not wasting any time in doing so. With White at the helm, the Fever have taken a major step forward in their pursuit of a WNBA title. Her leadership, combined with the talent now assembled in Indiana, shows that the franchise is committed to building a contender around Clark and pushing for a championship as soon as possible.
The pieces that we have and putting that all together. I hope, number one, for Caitlyn, that I can be a resource. Mm-hmm. I didn't have the same stuff that she has on a global scale. Mm-hmm. Thankfully we didn't have social media at the time, which amplifies everything. But I've been through it on a smaller scale. And so hopefully I can help her navigate, some of the extra stuff. While pushing her to be her best and challenging her to step outside of her comfort zone on the floor.
Caitlyn Clark has already had a massive impact on the WNBA, bringing record-breaking viewership, increased ticket sales, and a surge of new fans to the sport. Her presence alone has elevated the league's visibility. But beyond the off-court impact, her influence on the court has been just as significant. Last season, Clark had to carry the Indiana Fever with very little support. She played heavy minutes with almost no break, aside from the Olympic break, and was the driving force behind the team's offense. Despite limited roster depth, she still managed to lead Indiana to a playoff spot, something the franchise hadn't achieved in years. Her ability to elevate teammates was also evident. Players like Lexi Hull and Aaliyah Boston saw noticeable improvements in their game, benefiting from Clark's elite playmaking and ability to draw defensive attention. Boston, in particular, flourished playing alongside Clark, developing into one of the most dominant young bigs in the league.
People have a schizophrenic relationship with winners. When you're an underdog, they feel impelled to root for you. But if you're up too long, you better grab a helmet. And Caitlyn Clark has now become up for too long, because now haters jumping out the woodwork. Now everybody's like, wait a second, why are you offering her $5 million to play in the league? Why is she getting a 96-page story in a magazine issue? Why is she getting all this attention?
With the Fever now adding key pieces like DeWanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham, Clark will finally have the help she lacked in her rookie season. Her impact on the franchise is undeniable, and with a stronger supporting cast, Indiana looks set to take the next step toward championship contention. This season, Caitlyn Clark is coming in fully rested and ready to take her game to another level. After a grueling rookie season where she had almost no break, Clark made the decision to decline offers from the unrivaled league, choosing instead to take several months off from basketball. This rest was well earned after carrying the Indiana Fever to the playoffs with little depth around her, logging heavy minutes, and taking on the pressure of being the most watched player in the WNBA.
The Fever. They have to go into the championship favorites. They actually have to. They have to. By re-signing Kelsey Mitchell and trading for Sophie Cunningham and signing Bonner and Natasha Howard, the Fever have catapulted into the title conversation. They have Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, coming off Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, Grace Berger, Damaris Dantas and Katie Lou off the bench. That is their bench 5. That is crazy. And then they have a choice. What I would do is, with your second round pick, take Sedona Prince. I don't care about the off the court stuff. Or if Rhea Marshall's there, you take Rhea Marshall there as a big, but if not, you take Sedona Prince for size. As the only thing they're missing is size. Take Sedona Prince.
Last year, Clark had to figure everything out on the fly, adjusting to the physicality of the league, dealing with constant defensive pressure, and leading a young team with limited veteran presence. Despite all of that, she still put up elite numbers and made history in her first season. But this year is different. Now, she comes in with experience, a fully recovered body, and a roster built to complement her skill set. For the first time in her professional career, Clark will have veterans like DeWanna Bonner to help guide her through situations she hasn't faced before. With more experienced teammates to take some of the burden off her shoulders, Clark will have the freedom to elevate her game in ways we haven't seen yet. The foundation has been set for her to not only be the superstar she already is, but to reach a second gear that could take both her and the Fever to championship contention.
This is just more defense, fam. Now, mind you, now they have Caitlyn Clark, who was an all-star, Kelsey Mitchell, who was an all-star, Aaliyah Boston, who was an all-star. Now they have DeWanna Bonner. That's 4 all-stars on your team, fam. Oh, yeah, man. It's on, bro. It's on, bro.
This season, Caitlyn Clark could seriously enter the MVP conversation. While A'ja Wilson has been the league's dominant force in recent years, the landscape is shifting. The Las Vegas Aces have lost Kelsey Plum, and with key roster changes, they don't look as unstoppable as they once were. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever are only getting stronger, adding veteran talent to support Clark and positioning themselves as real contenders. Last season, Clark carried the Fever with little depth around her and still managed to lead them to the playoffs. Now, with DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, and Kelsey Mitchell all alongside her, she'll have more space to operate, better options to distribute to, and less defensive pressure solely focused on stopping her. This added help could allow her to be even more efficient, putting up bigger numbers while leading the Fever to a higher seed in the standings, something that will be crucial in the MVP race.
Okay, I was not able to manifest Nneka Ogwumike to the Indiana Fever, but I'm pretty sure that I manifested the next best thing because, oh my God, you guys, the Indiana Fever just signed DeWanna freaking Bonner. Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me right now? A rim running 4 with veteran experience, with playoff experience. Wow. Indiana Fever and Stephanie White and their front office are not playing. They are saying we are ready to make an actual run right now, and DeWanna Bonner is absolutely that missing piece.
If Clark can take another step forward while leading Indiana to one of the top spots in the league, she has a legitimate chance to challenge A'ja Wilson for MVP. The Aces are in transition, while the Fever are rising fast. If Clark puts together a dominant season with her improved roster, she could push Wilson all the way in the MVP conversation and potentially become the face of the league's next era. For Caitlyn Clark, having an experienced coach like Stephanie White is a major shift from last season. White knows exactly what type of players Clark needs around her and has wasted no time making the necessary moves to build a championship-caliber roster. Unlike last year, where Clark had to figure things out with a young team and a coach still adjusting, this season she has a leader who understands how to maximize her strengths and push the Fever toward title contention.
I'm not joking when I say they went from, oh my God, Caitlyn Clark effect, and making the playoffs last year and being completely happy with that after the past few years they had to this offseason. They are absolutely in title contention right now just with these pieces. She is absolutely the missing piece to this offense because now you've got Caitlyn Clark and Kelsey Mitchell in your backcourt, which is dynamic. And they had the salary space to do this, and this is incredible.
With a strong coach, a deeper roster, and a fully rested Clark, this season could be one of the most fascinating in WNBA history. Clark is now in a position where she can truly compete for her first championship, And with the Fever rapidly improving, all eyes will be on whether she can take that next step from star to champion. For the first time in years, the Indiana Fever are in a position to challenge for a WNBA title, and Caitlyn Clark is leading the way. The team has transformed from a rebuilding franchise into a legitimate contender, thanks to smart roster moves and Clark's ability to elevate both her teammates and the game itself. Clark's impact goes beyond just winning games. She's selling out venues across the league, drawing record-breaking viewership, and bringing an unprecedented level of attention to women's basketball. With the Fever now surrounding her with experienced players like DeWanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham, the team is not only stronger on the court, but also gaining serious momentum off it.
DeWanna Bonner decided to come play with the face of the league, the god, Caitlyn Clark, everybody. The Fever are on motherfucking fire, y'all. This is getting crazy, everybody.
This season marks a turning point for Indiana. After years of struggling, they now have a superstar leading them, a roster built to compete, and a growing fan base that is pushing the WNBA to new heights. With Clark at the center of it all, the Fever aren't just looking to make the playoffs. They're looking to compete for a championship and change the league in the process. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.